I'm Cllr Ian Barnes, Deputy Leader of Enfield Council and Chair of our Climate Change Task Force. As we approach the end of the Phase 1 implementation of the Bowes Low Traffic Neighbourhood, I wanted to take this opportunity to further update you and to remind you why we're taking this action. For many years, Bowes residents have campaigned for the Council to implement traffic control measures. Back in 2018, Bambos Charalambos MP presented a petition to Parliament asking for a live trial. This trial is being paid for using the government's Emergency Active Travel Fund. Rolling out the scheme has had to happen faster than we would normally because the government told us the scheme should be in place within 8 weeks due to its emergency nature. And failure to do this would mean the Department for Transport clawing back funds. These are financially difficult times for local authority budgets, and Enfield Council didn't want to lose this funding opportunity, which residents deserve. Our hope is to see behavioural changes, not just with rat runners that crisscross the area, but also with drivers who live within the LTN area who take those short journeys. We want them to consider walking or cycling, travelling at non-peak times, car sharing, consolidating trips, or not taking the car out at all. This should leave roads clearer for those less able to walk or cycle as we start to see traffic evaporation. We can't just filter 1 or 2 roads as other rat runs will emerge, so this neighbourhood has to be tackled as a whole. Filtered roads such as Evesham, Hardwick and others already exist in this area, and we want to extend the same safety and cleaner air to residents across this entire low traffic neighbourhood. Over the past few weeks, I've answered emails that I've received about the scheme. And these are some of the questions I get asked the most. The consultation will open before the end of September. You'll receive a letter informing you of all the details, and I can assure you we'll be monitoring it very closely. Plus, we've taken the unprecedented step of including a Haringey officer on that review team. As I say, it's a live trial to meet the government's deadline, and this same approach is being taken by many local authorities across the country. Once the scheme is bedded in, we have the ability to move filters if they're not working. So your feedback is vital in shaping the future of a trial that works for the whole area. At the end of the trial, we can decide on whether to make the measures permanent, amend them or remove them, depending on the consultation. Bowes Primary sits on Highworth Road, and we believe these proposals will stop traffic using the road as a rat run, which can only be a positive for the school. Instead of the almost 900 or so vehicles a day passing the school on Highworth, it'll only be local residential traffic entering and exiting via the road. We'll obviously closely monitor the situation around the school and take action if needed. Unfortunately, ANPR isn't a possibility. The area is too big, the number of cars too large, and we don't have the resources to continually update a whitelist of car registrations. We also want to avoid measures that create what could be perceived as private estates for residents. The Equality Impact Assessment is available on our project page in the document library. The EQIA is a continual process, and the consultation will provide an opportunity for people to directly contribute to this process, allowing the EQIA to be updated throughout the life of the project. So please do engage. All emergency services have to be consulted as part of the process to change road layouts in this way, and we'll continue to consult about any amendments we make during the trial. Before I bring this video to a close, I just wanted to take this opportunity to step back and look at the bigger picture. The Bowes LTN is part of Enfield Council's wider commitment to tackle issues such as road safety, pollution, climate change and childhood obesity. Road safety is obviously an absolute priority for us. Before lockdown, Bowes had tens of thousands of rat-running vehicles crossing it every week, and we're now returning to normal levels with an expected surge. The majority exploit Bowes to cut the corner off the North Circular Road using a long rat run. It's not fair that the residential streets of Bowes should be a pressure valve for the increasing number of vehicles on the North Circular. Pollution causes thousands of premature deaths in London annually, and the British Heart Foundation has found that living in some parts of the capital is now the equivalent of smoking 150 cigarettes a year. Air pollution could well be damaging every organ in the human body. Living near a busy road stunts lung growth in children and increases the risk of lung cancer, and asthma is on the increase in London. Bowes is an area that suffered from pollution and high nitrogen dioxide levels for a long time, and in particular Brownlow Road. There are 7,200 residents in this low traffic neighbourhood, and despite the fact that 40% of Bowes residents don't have access to a car, everyone in the area is suffering because of poor air quality. Pollution is obviously very closely connected to climate change, and Enfield's roads produce at least 39% of our borough's emissions, Enfield having one of the highest vehicle mileages in London. We have less than 10 years to reduce these emissions and limit the catastrophic effects of global warming. When it comes to physical activity, Enfield has a high rate of childhood obesity, which the council is trying to address, but we need to encourage our children to walk and cycle more. This goes for adults as well. We want to persuade residents to leave the car at home and feel the health benefits of walking or even cycling those 1 or 2 miles. Thank you for watching the video. The transition period for any traffic scheme can be tricky, and from the many established LTNs elsewhere, we know it'll take some time for drivers to become accustomed to these new filters. But we firmly believe that the Bowes LTN will create behavioural change and ultimately reduce vehicles across the area. Just to reiterate, we'll be closely monitoring the consultation and we can amend the scheme. We want this to be a trial that works for the local area, and your feedback will help decide the ultimate fate of this LTN.